Hey everybody, it's Large from Barstool Sports. There's two things I love in this world more than anything else. The first is boxing, more specifically heavyweight boxing. And the second thing is Chinese food. So when DAZN had asked me to go over to London to check out the Fury Usyk Part 2 press conference, fight's going down on December 21st, catching on DAZN pay-per-view, I jumped at the opportunity because I love the idea of this main event, but I also love everybody who's on the undercard. And I said to DAZN, sure, I'll go over, but on one condition, that I get to go and have a proper Chinese meal with Big John Fisher and his son Johnny.
Oh, that's awesome.
And we sat down and we had an absolute feast. Check it out. Bosh. All right, so we're at the future scene of the crime right here, sitting down, and it's Blue Orchid. I'm telling you, this is a beautiful place. Beautiful restaurant, owners are fantastic, but most importantly, I'm sitting here with John, Johnny, and the only good-looking member of the family, Charlotte, here on the end, and we're about to destroy some Chinese. But I'm excited about the whole thing. You guys can order whatever the heck you want, and I will definitely eat it. So I have a palate that's like pretty broad. So
look at that, proper English weather as well, pouring down with
as soon as we got in, it started to rain.
Yeah.
These are the shrimp chips.
Yeah, is that what you call it?
Crackers.
They're
Prawn crackers, okay.
These are Vietnam. Daniel told me this is the Vietnamese variation of a shrimp chip. So
Okay.
It's a bit thicker.
Yeah,
But
prawn crackers. Let me ask you a question right off the set. How did it come to be? Like how all of a sudden was one of your kids like, Dad, I got to tape this, throw it on TikTok, and you're going to become a popular internet sensation?
Bosh! Libash! Chicken casserole! Bosh!
Without me knowing really, Henry, our middle son, used to film me eating, ordering Chinese as a joke.
Right.
Used to put it around the family chats.
and also you moaning about mum's dinners when
Yeah.
they're a bit burnt or if they're.
And
a
he
bit-
used to put them on
yeah.
TikTok unbeknown to me. And they had millions of views, didn't they, Johnny?
Yeah. And you didn't even know at first. Like when I was just starting my career as well, I was probably 2-0, 3-0, and they was coming up and asking for pictures of Big John. And I was like, what's going on here? And you was like, I don't understand. Is it because I'm part of the senior matchroom and things like that?
But it
And I said,
worked
no,
because of
you're Big
TikTok.
John. Yeah, and TikTok is this viral, obviously this tool, and it's exploded.
Are you a fighter?
I used to box years ago when Johnny was before the kids were born.
You
But-
played football more, really.
Yeah, I was quite good at football. I played for Latin Orient. You wouldn't believe it now, looking at me now, but I used to look like him when I was his age. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Boxing, all my brothers have done boxing as well. It's sort of like the thing where we're from. You try a bit of boxing or you do a bit of boxing. And
Right. But you're building up a nice resume.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Power puncher, knockout artist.
I'm 12-0 now. I've got a long way to go, but my last fight was a good step in the right direction. My first headline event against someone who people in the public recognise as someone who's a puncher themselves. Yeah. I didn't have the extensive amateur background that other people have had.
Rugby player.
I was a rugby player, but I did box before that when I was 5 and 6 years old until the age of 14. I was involved in boxing gyms. And then COVID happened, mixed everything up, and I started sparring a guy called Joe Joyce. And Joe Joyce's managers turned me pro during COVID on a whim, really. We had to prove ourselves in that first year, and we did. And we went 4-0, and the first card in front of the crowd, I sold 2,000 tickets at the O2. I could punch and I could sell tickets, and that's exciting for people to watch.
He's ferocious, Fisher. He's violent. He's very young, very raw. Give him time to learn.
I won't.
these are the
Believe me,
scallops.
Johnny, believe me.
Oh, wow.
Look at them.
These are gorgeous looking right here. I tell you what, sometimes when you come from New York, you become such a short-sighted that you think that it's the best cuisine in the world. I've never had a chicken bowl.
They're very simple, but
What is it?
delicious.
Sweet and sour sauce.
Just
Deep
chicken
fried
breast
battered chicken.
in deep fried. You dip it in the
I'm
sweet
not
and
going to
sour
dip it
sauce.
twice. That's the initial one. It seems like I'm holding a little pocket of lava. I'm going to absolutely myself if I throw this in, right? Wow, that's so hot.
It's not as if there's a camera
Right?
about.
Yeah, thank you for doing that, because that would have been like one of those ones where you're trying to breathe around it. You know what I mean? Yeah, fuck it.
Cover it up.
Oh, that's delicious. When do you see yourself back in the ring?
Fury Usyk undercard. First Dave Allen.
Good for you, man.
So Dave Allen, his name is the White Rhino.
Okay.
The first professional I ever sparred.
So there's a bit of a story there.
He was like one of my heroes for growing up. Watching him when I was at university, I used to watch him and be entertained by Dave Allen. So it's a good little crossroads there, I think. He's 31, 32, so he's still alive and kicking, you know.
So what have you done there?
You know what? I love the sauce so much from the prawns
you put it
that
on
I
there.
flipped the pancake over and I gave it a little bit of a mop in before. Am I teaching you a little little trick?
Well, no.
Holy shit.
No, I'm saying, no, listen, it's just, I would never, I know I love duck with the plum sauce.
I'm going to try one of them.
You know what I mean? But I like your style.
Thank you, sir.
I like your style.
Charlotte, what do you think about all this? Like, because it's silly. It shouldn't exist. And that's not a dig by any stretch of imagination. But as far as
the
I'm
world we
concerned,
live in now.
Yeah, you're the Kardashians of England, right? And I think the Kardashians of the United States are an absolute disgrace, but I'm proud to be sitting down with you guys.
Let me tell you something, I do like a lot of events with YouTubers, TikTokers, and most of them are complete and utter. I say I'm not an influencer, I say I'm just a normal bloke who's got a few followers. That's how I like to see myself as.
But it is funny because you do make people laugh, and it is you.
Where do you think that your career goes? Like, would you like to ring the register before you start? Not like a Tommy Fury, and do like some of this influencer type, or does that totally delegitimize? It would delegitimize you a year ago.
But
now a lot of people are doing it.
But first and foremost, I'm a professional boxer. You live in an age now where people want to be entertained and they want to consume content.
Right.
And that isn't about being someone you're not, it's just about conveying who you are to people a little bit better. And that's what we've done well. I think we're good at letting people into our lives a little bit.
Right.
And that doesn't mean I'm going to be an influencer boxer. I can't stand the term really. I don't want to. I'm
It's
not
an awful
involved in that.
term,
I'm
but
a
it is
professional.
what it is.
I'm a professional boxer.
Right.
And that's what I'll always do.
And now entering the arena, the Radford Bull, Johnny Fisher.
I can't tell you how impressed I am because this is the first time I'm in London for boxing. The boxing community here is probably one of the best in the world. Being able to capture and turn them in your direction is probably not easy to do, but once you do it, it must be some hell of a following. So I'm talking about your army, right?
Yeah, it's not just to do with boxing, I would say. It's this area. When you're from Essex, from East London, this area, people get behind each other as well. And from there, it's got bigger and bigger. Before Big John was even a phenomenon, really. Boxing in this country, I think there's not many fans like the British boxing fans.
The Romford Boy Army is a special bunch. We've got all different facets, all different fans, football fans, and Johnny gives everyone a T-shirt. So they all put that T-shirt on and they all become one.
And that's the Romford Bull Army. Any Yanks in it?
Yeah.
Big Canadians.
Do you know where I'm going with it, or do I have to
You're
beg?
part of the Bull Army.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, can I be like Sergeant at Arms?
You're one of the generals of the Bull Army.
So with the Army, I remember when I was in Vegas for Hatton versus Mayweather, and there were so many Brits there. Yeah. But before the fight had started, even over all the VIPs, you started to hear, "There's only one Ricky Hatton," and they never stopped. I mean, Hatton was almost taken out in a stretcher, and they're still chanting the whole time.
You know why they were still happy after? Because the memories and the day that they create, and what Ricky Hatton was able to create for people in the event of the whole build up for the weeks before as well. One day, if I fight for a world title or a big name like Floyd Mayweather, that's what you want to aim for, to get to the stage of what Ricky Hatton's got to, you know.
But you have the opportunity to do that.
Yeah, I do.
Johnny's last fight, Copper Box, 7,000 sellout, was crazy.
Right.
Absolutely, the atmosphere was unbelievable.
I knocked him out, and then for about
Knocked him out
10
in 30
minutes after,
seconds.
there was a little rave going on. They
Yeah,
played all
everyone
like the Free
dancing
From
and-
Desire,
yeah.
all the Boss Soldier songs.
Oh, really?
And then for like 10-15 minutes, I was like, people aren't leaving it. They're staying here and having a little boogie for 10 minutes.
Right, yeah.
I know the boxing's the most important part, but it's not just the boxing.
You don't seem like you have it in you to play the heel, like bad guy. Do you think you have that in you? To put on the black hat?
I can't
can't
be
do it.
anyone that I just got to be myself, honestly. I don't feel, you'd see straight through it, and you'd be able to see straight through it if I
Right,
was trying
you
to
can't
make
be
it up.
somebody you're not, yeah.
I haven't got that skill to be able to...
See, the last fight, total respect for Babbage. He's a good bloke. We've known him before, and we'd come and have a Chinese with him now, but a few of his coaches were talking a bit disrespectfully about Johnny. And Johnny, credit to him, kept his mouth shut.
Right.
But you could see after the fight, when he won, he was like that, like in front of them.
So you're better off just keeping your mouth shut.
Yeah.
And getting in the ring and dealing with what's in front of you rather than talking all this rubbish before, you know?
I think I got to wrap up soon, right? Right. You ever been to China?
No, we said the
Well,
guys
what
just
a
come
what a
back from Hong
fraud
Kong.
you are.
Yeah,
You're an absolute hypocritical
These have been for me, so it's all right. These have been.
They're going to take us to Hong Kong. We're going to go to Hong Kong with the Blue Orchid.
Yeah, Johnny, when you win a world title, we've got to take the chaps to Hong Kong and then to New York.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
We'll do that.
Or fight in MSG.
I better get to work. Jesus.
Madison Square Garden, that'd be the dream for Johnny to fight there as well.
Is that the Mecca? Still?
Madison Square Garden. Yeah, you think of the fights that have happened there.
Right.
That's it. Get on a plane. I really appreciate your time, John.
Listen,
you know what I mean?
It's been an honour.
Yeah.
Really
Good man.
thank you very
I
much.
appreciate you, man. Yeah. I wish you best luck in your career.
All right, that's it. That's it for us. We're at the Blue Orchid in Romford, and I got to be honest with you, I don't highly recommend sitting in between these two guys because it's a little bit intimidating. I highly recommend finding somebody like Charlotte to come and sit down and have a proper Chinese at Blue Orchid. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Just find the old lady and bring her on over. Yeah. We'll see you guys next time. All right, so that was eating with those guys, Bosch, chicken bows, and all that stuff. And I have to say, even though I'm a food snob, that could be the greatest Chinese meal I ever had. And it was a pleasure to be with such a great family, including Johnny Fisher, who I can't wait to see strap up the gloves and get in there versus David Allen on the undercard of Fury Usyk 2, December 21st in Riyadh. And you can catch all of the action on DAZN pay-per-view.